Before the video starts properly, I just want to preface the entire thing with kind of a disclaimer. I get kind of negative here. Not like overtly negative, but I do criticize the gameplay trailer a lot. And just before going into it, I want to preface just one thing. And one thing is that the Sonic fan base is very divisive in just about everything. I don't want to come off as someone that is being completely and utterly negative towards this, towards the game in general. I'm not saying that the game's going to completely flop and suck. I'm just saying that it looks really rough so far. I'm interested. I'm looking forward to the game itself. I'm probably gonna buy it. I know I'm gonna buy it, and I'm probably gonna really enjoy it for what it is. Um, but given the track record of AAA games in the last couple of years, I've seen better looking games from the trailers, and it comes out looking infinitely worse. Um, it comes out looking. I'm appreciative that they made this relatively uncut. There's a couple of cuts in the gameplay trailer itself, but um, relatively uncut gameplay trailer. It for what there is, it looks pretty good. Looks like there could use some work, but it looks it's not highly doctored at the very least, which I really appreciate. What we have looks solid. It doesn't look like the game's going to be utterly broken from the start, which is excellent. That's already infinitely better than a whole lot of other AAA games lately. Um, my biggest concern, which I think I touch on, is that it just looks relatively bland. But I'm hoping that as more stuff comes out throughout June and later into the year, that I'm proven wrong. I want this game to be good. It looks really interesting. Yeah, just wanted to preface that. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. What's up, everybody? It's Skittlez, and Sonic Frontiers' first gameplay trailer just came out today. I'm pretty excited for it. Honestly. An open world Sonic game, it just seems pretty cool. Like, we've seen how it can work out pretty well with, like, what was that fan game called? It slipped my mind now. I literally had it in mind before I started recording. But I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for this, honestly. Regardless of like how it looks or how it turns out, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm still gonna play it. I'll probably enjoy it for the most part, but I saw like the little teaser that they released on Twitter, like the 30-second teaser that they had. I noticed a few weird things about it. Namely, animations looked pretty rough, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt on animations, just given the fact that there's still I don't want to say plenty of time, given the track record of any AAA game in the past 2 years, but there's still a couple months before this game comes out, so I'm willing to bet there'll be some polish. How much polish? Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. Just taking a look at this screenshot, which I think we might have seen before, but now that I've sitting here paused, like, there's a lot of rails, isn't there? There's a lot of rails. I'm looking at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7, like, groups of rails going on here. So I'm eager to see how this looks. Sonic's model, I think, is different from Force's. It's very similar, but it is different. So we'll see how this looks. Either way, let's get the show on the road. I will be pausing a whole lot, by the way. Just to
IGN First for the month of June 2022 is all about Sonic Frontiers. We've got gameplay, we've got previews, and we've got interviews from the developers who made it all happen. All month long, we'll be diving deep into what you can expect when the game makes its way to you later down the road. First up, we've got the world premiere gameplay focusing on exploring the mysterious island that Sonic suddenly finds himself stranded on at the start of the game.
Okay, so there's more stuff like all June. Got it. That's good. Good, more stuff. Considering the complete and utter lack of stuff we have, more stuff is good. Sonic's stranded on an island. Okay. What's preventing him from just running along the water like we know he can?
Be sure to stick with IGN throughout June so you don't miss anything.
All of this
Till
we've
then,
already
here's your
seen,
first
by
look
the
at
way.
gameplay from Sonic Frontiers.
This is new. Well, like, okay, so just like looking at Sonic's model here, like the can I full screen? I can. Just like looking at Sonic here, this is still very Forces-esque, which isn't inherently negative. The stance is definitely Forces, but it is different. I can tell it's different. Like the shoes are way more detailed. Like they have this reflective mapping on them. They look really solid. Okay. I hope that's not his natural acceleration. That was really slow. Hold on. Wait, did he ground pound there, or? No, he did not ground pound there. He just landed, and the box broke. Still the jump ball from Forces 2, by the way. Yeah, he landed on the ground. Is totally touching this spring. Spring isn't activated, but the box exploded, even though he's nowhere near the box. Oh, we're off to a great start. There seems to be some... Hold on, is that magnetism, or is that just like an animation for the rings? Because that's actually really cool. No, that's like, okay, that's like a little animation. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. So like, the rings will like circle around you before going in. That's actually pretty sick. I like that. Oh no. Okay. Alright. I'm sorry I'm pausing a lot. I'm probably gonna do that this entire video, and I'm so sorry. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so one of the biggest gripes in Forces, at least from me, was that, like, it was very, very abundantly clear how much Sega is relying on the automation aspects of Sonic's gameplay. Like, the dash pads and springs, like, they're cool. Like, they're cool little things you can use to get maximum speed really fast. But, like, putting dash pads that close together just to control your angle of, like, approach to making it very specific, especially in an open world game like this, just seems kind of antithetical, doesn't it? Like, is that just me? Like, putting a dash pad shoot you forward into another dash pad to immediately shoot you at a 90-degree angle into a specific spot? Like, why is that better than just letting the player walk around that corner and hit the spring? Why is that better? Like, and then you go into this, like, ring here that shoots you further up, I guess. You do have to control yourself going into the ring. I appreciate that, at least. Up into some kind of art pickup? No idea what that is. There's no HUD. So we have no idea what that is. That's the ground pound. Okay, alright, wall run. Wall run. I'm gonna try not to pause it. That transition looked a little rough there. But there is a lot of animations carried over from Forces. Okay, hold on. Very subtle. Very subtle there. There was a... Hold on. Was that a lean? That looked like a lean. Look at Sonic as he turns here. Did he lean into this turn, or was it just like a weird... Okay, no, he didn't lean. That was a weird animation thing with where he stepped up onto this, and his model just tilted. It looked really cool, though, in motion. Like, he's doing it again there. Yeah, he's doing it again there. Rail, okay. He's grinding up the rail without much of any acceleration going into it. That's the same rail grinding animation from Forces. That looks really stale. That looks really... I don't like that. I don't like... Okay, there's another thing with grinding. Like, it's so automated. There's almost nothing to grinding in Sonic games now. Like, I feel like I'm repeating a lot of things that people have already said, but like in the adventure games and like Heroes, you had to build up momentum when you were using rails. Like, you didn't just go. You couldn't use the boost. I mean, even the boost, like, I'll accept the boost being used to gain momentum, I guess, like, whatever. But, like, just going like that? Ooh, that looks really rough, though. That looks super rough. Like, that just looked really unsatisfying. Like, I would have rather walked up this ramp than... He just lands on it. He doesn't even homing attack into it. He just goes. That just looks rough. Oh, okay. Alright. I'm sorry. I know I'm pausing a lot. And I'm really being really nitpicky. But, like, okay. Alright. So he goes into an automated spring to shove him into this wall. Which I get that. That makes sense. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going to start running up the wall. Maybe if you walk up here, you would hit the dash. You would jump up and hit the dash pad. But if you use the spring, you gain a little bit of air and you just go straight to running on the wall. But he smacks into the wall here and then falls into the dash pad. That just looks a little weird. But then you're like, okay, that's how he starts running up the wall. Okay. And then he doesn't run up the wall. And he climbs? I guess every game since Breath of the Wild has to have climbing in it. Okay. Wait, and then he starts running? Now I'm just confused. Why is he running now? Why was he climbing and then he started running? Can you gain momentum by climbing? And then once you reach a certain... It didn't look like you were gaining momentum from that climb, though. It looked like there was a set speed. Is there any momentum in this game? Very cinematic gameplay, by the way. Very controlled. I'm always very cautious of any of that kind of gameplay where it's like it's clearly like it's very clearly cinematized, whatever that word is. Okay. 4 rails. That okay. Ooh, very slidey walk. Just very slidey. That speed looks better, but ooh, that first. There is some magnetism on the rings. What is that clicking noise? Rails going back down. Hold on. I'm halving the playback speed. Gonna look real closely at this one. He backflips. He backflips to go like left, but then he goes right. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I really like that ring animation though. That's cool. I like that. It's a small little thing, but it looks cool. And they're one of these heart makeup things. Don't know what that is. Where's this weird clicking sound? That's not me. What is that? Just see a lot of rails here. Okay, so now we're actually running around the world. Okay. Rails on the ground. He did not touch that dash ring. He did not touch that dash ring, bro. Rails on the ground, and he hits that dash ring, and then he straight up misses that dash ring, and it still goes. Is that some kind of enemy right there? Was that a quick step too? More rails. See, he backflips again into that rail to go left, and that looks fine. There's so many rails! Why are there so many rails? Okay, so they brought back this wall run. Hold on. Okay, they brought back the wall run from Lost World. Good. That was actually really cool. I figured that... Oh, no. Okay, there were a lot of things there. They brought back the wall run from Lost World. Great. The parkour mechanics in Lost World, I thought, actually could have gone somewhere. They could have gone somewhere really cool. But go back. So he just kind of hits this wall like a Skyrim horse and starts running up it, which is cool, I guess. I was expecting him to spring into this wall here and start running along this wall. But then he hits a rail. Into another rail. Into another one of these. And then look at the celebration anime, like the, I don't know what you want to call that, like the tricks. The trick animations are literally all the same animation. And you can barely even see it. It's like so fast and immediate, and it's just using the air dash sound effect. It's not using like any of the generations like trick sound effects or the colors even. I would take anything over just a blatant, bland sound. Like, ugh. That looked rough. That looked really rough. The animations are looking really rough. I'm gonna be honest. The world looks really pretty though. But I'm eager to see how it... Okay. Or just springs into other springs. Rain? Is there gonna be like a weather system? That's cool. That's cool. I doubt it will affect gameplay at all, but that's pretty cool. Puzzles. That's that same kind of art style that you've seen in the trailers so far. More rails. This fire is like digital. Take a good look at it. Like, it's not real fire. It's like pixelated and kind of cyber looking. Okay. We don't know what that is yet. I wonder if that's some kind of ability. They better explain that. Did that spawn another rail? Onto fruit? Like... It doesn't look like Sonic is, like, gaining speed from going downhill. Like... Just runs up that. Doesn't lose any speed from running up that wall. Oh, a fuck ton more rails right there. Forested area. Pretty nice. More rails in the background. I like this forested area. This looks pretty sick. Also, that bird reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus. How it swoops down and kind of hovers around you. That looks like it's ripped straight out of Shadow of the Colossus, which I like. Yeah, that looks like Shadow of the Colossus to me. That a little bit late now, I guess, but he just ran across that rail on the ground. That throws me off. Why is there just a rail embedded into the dirt? That's weird. But he ran across it completely perpendicular to it, and he just got on the rail and started going. And he had to jump off to maintain his direction. Like that to me is like, why would you do that? It just like breaks the flow. And there's no way you could have seen that coming either, because it was in like a... I wonder what these, like, icons are. Are they, like, things for puzzles, maybe? Like, it's like, here's a puzzle here. Yeah, this is a puzzle for sure. Okay. This seems easy enough. Like, these seems like pretty easy puzzles. But what does that do? Like, it spawns that fruit-looking thing, apparently, but... Okay, spraying into a dash pad, into another spraying. Got some kind of wildlife-looking things. Like this hamster wheel. Ooh, that was rough. Sonic just kind of stopped running there. Alright. The open world looks pretty... It looks great. It looks really pretty. Why is it a Sonic open world, though? Like, you gotta design the world around Sonic's moveset, and it doesn't look like that's being done here. It looks like you have a stock Unity or Unreal Engine island here, made of prefabricated assets. And then you just slapped a bunch of rails and springs on it. And that's all you did. And you ported over all the animations from Forces. Some of them don't work very well. Some of them are outright lacking. This looks rough. I'm not gonna lie. This looks really rough. This looks really rough. I'm gonna be honest. This looks rough. Ooh, and that, like, this, like, it doesn't look like anything flows together very well, which is, like, the fun part about, like, any Sonic game is the flow. Like, when you enter that flow in a, like, any 2D or 3D Sonic game, it feels great. Like, when you're just flying through a level, not hitting any obstacles, not breaking any momentum, like, the movement never stops, that's really satisfying. Like, all those little things like that. Like, sure, it's great not being entirely automated the instant you hit that first spring, but it shoots you straight up, and you're unable to, like, affect your momentum in a direction until you've reached the apex of that spring, and then you can control your fall. That feels a little wonky. And having to go into that dash pad that then automates it anyway, it just feels like wonk straight into automation. It just doesn't feel right. Hit you in, and also the springs are like springing you up these tiny little. You'd hop over that. You don't need a spring for that. Let the player just learn to hop over that. Right? And there's another spring here that inevitably looks like it goes up a 3-foot cliff. But there's this hamster wheel thing. We've seen this in like the 30-second gameplay trailer from yesterday, I think. But he jumps on it. This looks like, I swear to God, if they start bringing these in every game like the Wisps, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. But he runs on this, some kind of puzzle thing, but he fills it out. This running animation looks pretty solid. Like, this running animation looks really good. Like, he leans into it. Like, the way he leans into it. Okay, I'm gonna play it at like quarter speed because I hate my life. But he jumps on it. Jump ball from Forces is the worst jump ball, but I'm not a stickler about it. Just doesn't look as good. He jumps on it. He gets this weird 3D. It gets this weird, like, not 3D, but like rear-facing camera, and it should just immediately transition into this, in my opinion. I'm playing it at quarter speed. Wouldn't do that normally. But it looks like it's pushing him back, so as Sonic starts gaining momentum, that transition didn't look good at a quarter speed. And I'm looking at it at a quarter speed, very nitpicky. There didn't look like any transition animation there. Like, it was walk straight into this jog. There is no transition. And he just goes straight into the splayed animation, and it's a little wonky. But I like that Sonic's like kind of leaning into the run. It looks good. He's like, there seems to be some good animation in this run. Like, this is good. This actually looks really solid. I've kind of been and then he just stops. Like, why does he just stop running? Like, is the wheel no longer pushing him around? Like, it showed it pushing him backwards when he jumped on it, right? And then he started running and he moved back towards the center of the wheel. and then he just stops, and he just doesn't move. Either way, it looks weird that he just stops running regardless. But it pushes, and then it just shoves him forward again, and then it pings whatever the heck that does, and then it spawns this red fruit-looking thing. Like, I have no idea what any of this is, which is fine, because we don't know what anything is. It's interesting. I'm interested in it. I'm hoping to learn more. Oof, but it looks rough. It looks kind of rough so far, I'm not gonna lie. The animations, in the animation department, it looks rough. I'm looking forward to more, I guess. I'm gonna end the video before I overstay my welcome, which I probably already have. Yeah. Forward to seeing more of this stuff throughout June. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.